Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and welcome back to Multiplayer Mondays on the Gaming Vector. And this week, once again, we are playing Magic 2014. And yes, I know, this is quickly becoming Magic Mondays rather than Multiplayer Mondays, but this has been my go-to multiplayer game as of late, so this is what we're going to be playing today. So we're going to jump into free-for-all and see if we cannot find a match. I've already had trouble linking up with that guy once today while recording. Oh, here we are. So this will be an interesting match. Doing a little 4-player free-for-all. I'm using the Guardians of Light deck. This deck is based around using enchantments to either tear down the opponent's creatures, make it so that they can't attack, or to weaken them up, or using enchantments to boost your own creatures so that you can do more damage and try and take out your opponent. There are some really strong combinations in this deck, but if you don't get those strong combinations, your cards are not terribly strong to begin with. So there we are. Now, we've got 4 different players here. We've got Mesa Enchantress. It's a decent card. Staff of the Sun Magus, Pariah, Sarah's Boon. Not the best of starting hands, but I'm going to go ahead and take it because I do have the 3 lands that will at least give me some plays down the road. Plus, Mesa Enchantress will let me draw a card whenever I play an enchantment. Always a helpful thing to have. Now, he's playing something with red. He and or her is playing something with white. He's playing the human deck up top. So that is the Avacyn's Glory deck. Lots of humans, lots of angels. It'll be interesting to go up against that one with this deck. Now, what else do we have here? So the red deck, that could be a few different things. What about this one on the right? Terramorphic Expanse. So that cuts down on the number of decks it could possibly be, because not every deck has Terramorphic Expanse. And a green land. Interesting. So he may be actually playing the Annihilator deck, possibly. I don't remember if that has Terramorphic Expanse or not. Also possibly Dracomancer. We will have to wait and see. So there we drew one of our enchantments, the Guardian Mage Mark. It's a pretty good enchantment for once you get a bunch of creatures on the board. It's also a good enchantment to throw on something just before you block, since it does have flash. Okay, the guy on the left side is playing the Dracomancer deck, because he has land cycling cards. So he's trying to get enough lands into his hand to be able to play something. Although, no idea what it is. And he didn't play Dragon Fodder yet, so wondering what he could be waiting on over there. Now, she just played the Unruly Mob, which means if any of her creatures is killed... Why are you coming after me? If any of her creatures are killed, aside from Unruly Mob will become stronger. So we need to be wary of that. Also, she can sacrifice that 1/1 that she just attacked with to put a counter on something else till the end of the turn. So, a little bit of card synergy going on there. He is also playing the Dracomancer deck. Okay, this should be real interesting. So we've got 2 white decks, 2 Dracomancer decks, 2 different white decks at that. So there's our second land. Still nothing we can really do, unfortunately. That also means that Sarah's Boon is only going to be really useful on either boosting my creatures or lowering the power of one of the dragons. One of the dragon deck's creatures. And I'm afraid I'm just going to get popped for another damage here, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it, unfortunately. However, on the next turn, I can get my Sky Hunter out. So there is Midnight Guard. What Midnight Guard does is every time a creature enters the battlefield, he will untap. So she can just attack straight away with Midnight Guard over and over. Why are you coming after me? There's 2 Dracomancers on the board. You don't even know what I have. All you know is I have a deck with white cards in it. Suppose I have somehow made myself a target. Perhaps just worried that I'm playing the same deck that she is? Perhaps worried that by angering the Dracomancers that when they do pull one of their dragons out, they'll go directly after her. I don't really know what the logic is here. I guess just hit somebody to hit somebody. Okay. There's a 4th land card. Now we have some options. And what I'm thinking... I'm going to get my Sky Hunter out first. And then I can start using some of these enchantments to beef it up. And since it has double strike, it's already going to do 2 damage every time it attacks. It's also flying, which is great because that means I can, at least for the time being, bypass everyone's defenses. Granted, I can still only do 2 damage per turn, but I can at least bypass their defenses. Also, that also means those 1/1s that she is attacking with can't really take him down. Okay, another unruly mob. Oh boy, this just got real bad. I could do for an exile card right now. She didn't attack, though. Smart. I'm assuming she's going for a specific setup that maybe requires her to get a couple of more cards out there. She's only got 3 left in her hand. Ah, there comes one of the dragons. That is the Hellkite Hatchling. Devours the 1/1. That 1/1 actually comes back as a different creature when it dies, and now he has a flying trample 3/3. I cannot deal with that. Not with my little Sky Hunter as weak as he is right now. Okay, so my turn, and I drew a Daybreak Coronet as well. Alright, what I would really like to do... I feel like playing Staff of the Sun Magus is going to be my best bet right now, so that I can start gaining health every time. Now, I don't want to attack because that'll leave me with no blockers. So I'm just going to leave my Sky Hunter here and hope for the best. And he is stacking up lands, but he has nothing on the battlefield. So that makes me wonder... Flame Blast Dragon possibly in his hand? Something that requires a lot of lands. And if it's a Flame Blast Dragon, that's very disconcerting. Either that or he just wants to stack up as much land as early as possible because he's got, I don't know, 3 or 4 good creatures in his deck. And he wants to get them all out on the battlefield at one time and maybe do some sort of combo play. I'm not sure exactly what he would be able to do that way because there's only a handful of haste cards in that deck. But I suppose it is possible. Elgaud Inquisitor, 2/2 lifelink, gains a flying 1/1 if it dies. If you're going to poke at somebody, poke at the guy with 20 health and no cards on the board. Ah, saving everything for blockers. Worried about that Hellkite Hatchling that you can't even block, so I don't know what you're thinking. Alright. Just waiting for the turn to come around here and see what everybody else does. Whoa! Explosive Vegetation. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to zoom on. What does Explosive Vegetation do? 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield, tapped, shelf at your library. Okay, fair enough. It gets him a couple of tapped lands. Ooh, now there's a card that I like. I don't have the lands for, but Evangelize. Very good, especially if you can pay the buyback cost. But I think that will take 3. That requires 2. That requires 3. 3. Shoot. Alright. Well, we'll play Mesa Enchantress. That will get us at least 1 point of health back. And now, on the next turn, I can start playing some of my enchantments that I have in my hand. Nope, not going to attack. That would be a very bad idea. But now I can start playing some of my enchantments, and hopefully that will allow me to get some good card draw and maybe get some things rolling here. Also, he's just grabbing all the lands. What is that? It's a 6/6 Penumbra Worm. Oh, so it's got trample, and when it dies, it creates another trample. Machias the Lunarch, that's a very, very good card. So every turn you can tap that card to either put a counter on it or take a counter off of it when you take a counter off of it, it is distributed amongst the rest of your creatures. You almost always want to play that where it'll be at least a 5/5 because it makes it much more difficult to kill with like instant and sorcery cards. What I'm really hoping for here is a land draw, because then I can combo up a couple of these enchantments. Let's see. First strike, vigilance, lifelink. Okay. Gives me an idea. Since I already have a double strike, I'm not real sure what I want to do with that. So we're waiting on a pro Magikarp over here to make his play. And I wonder... Okay, he played a Pouncer. That is a 5/1 with haste. So he can attack somebody right out of the gate with that if he wants to. Not that it would necessarily be recommended. It's also a cycling card, so he could have cycled it for more land if he needed that. It's not a bad card. You can take down a fairly strong creature and not really lose too much in the grand scheme of things. It does only have 1 health, so it is easy to kill. But it also dishes out a lot of damage to whatever kills it. So waiting for him to make combat selection, and then he is ending his turn, so let's hope no land card, but we did get a Spirit Dancer. Very nice. I like the Spirit Dancers. Too bad I don't have the ability to play the Spirit Dancer and one of my other cards. So, what I'm thinking, we will play Sarah's Boon on our Sky Hunter. This will allow us to draw a card. Yes. We drew a land card. Fantastic. Now we can play our land card, get another point of health back. Now if I wanted to play the Spirit Dancer, I could. First strike, vigilance, lifelink. I actually think I want to hang on to that. But I will go ahead and play out my Spirit Dancer. Now, she's a 0/2, but the interesting thing about that card is that it gains +2/+2. No, I'm not attacking. It gains +2/+2 every time you put an aura on it. And that's what pretty much all of these enchantments are auras. So slap a couple of those on there and the thing becomes very dangerous very, very quickly. You slap one good one on it and it becomes very dangerous. So I think I might use... Oh, June's Charm. Okay. He's going to kill everything except for my flying and his 6/4. Killed most of the cards. Unfortunately, there goes my Spirit Dancer. So, looks like I'm going to be stacking enchantments on my Enchantress, too. Soul's Fire, that allows him to... What is he going to do with that? Yeah, he's taking out Machias the Lunarch. That's a good play. That way she can't stack up damage on the rest of her cards. And then what else? What is that 2/2? He is playing all the cards I've never seen from that deck. June Battle Mage. Oh, I have seen that. That's a real nasty card. And now he's coming after... Nope. He's going after the White Human deck because he knows the damage potential that can come out of there. And he's going to hit her for 6. She does have 1 that she could block it with, but it's trample, so it's going to get 5 damage through in that case, and she'd lose her creature. And being that's an only flying creature, I don't blame her for not doing that. Now, comes out the Archangel, that's a 5/5. And I'm just kind of sitting over here biding my time and hoping that I get some good card draw. Unfortunately, with my Enchantress dead, that becomes very difficult to do. So right now, from what I'm looking at, there's only 2... Well, there's only 1 supremely dangerous creature on the board. Also, what did he just play? Crucible of Fire. Dragon creatures get +3/+3. Well, I stand corrected. There's now 2 very dangerous creatures on the board. 3 if you count the Archangel that she just played up top on the last turn. Which is a 5/5 flying with vigilance. Now, if they decide to come after me, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I do have Double Strike on my Sky Hunter, but he's still only a 2/3. Okay, another land card. What can we do with this land card? That one... I cannot afford the buyback, so what I'm thinking is we will stack... Okay, we're going to stack a couple enchantments on our Sky Hunter and hope for the best. Alright, now, you know, I could attack. They can't really do much about it. And he does have Vigilance, so there's no reason not to do so. So I think I'm going to go after this gentleman. I'm going to go after a Pro Magikarp here. And I'm just spreading the damage around a little bit. Waiting to see if he decides to block or not. If he blocks, his creature's dead. If he doesn't block, it doesn't matter because he can't attack me directly. Oh, I forgot the Double Strike. Ow! Alright, so I probably have the most dangerous thing on the field, which means they're probably going to annihilate it as soon as they possibly can, and I wouldn't blame them. Also, I'm wondering about this Pariah card. Because I'm assuming all damage that we've dealt to you is dealt to Enchanted Creature instead. I'm assuming if I played that... Oh, no. Oh, and he just killed my only source of damage. Maelstrom Pulse. And now he's coming after me. We're just going around the board hitting each other. Now I have no creatures in my hand. I'm wondering if I throw Pariah on something, if I throw Pariah on one of their creatures, would that mean that if I take damage, that damage is reflected to the creature? Or is it if they take damage, it's reflected to the creature? I'm assuming... I would like to assume that it would be, since it's my enchantment, any damage dealt to me would go to their creature. Oh, and she's coming after me again. I need creatures badly. Yeah, I got out of control with my health gain. What are you doing now? Oh, he's going direct attack on him. Evening things out a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to get hit by him too, and I wouldn't actually blame them at this point. 10-10? What are you? Whoops. No, not that. Hold on, folks. Stop timer. Okay. I can't actually look at it because it thinks I'm trying to target it, I suppose. Well, he wiped him out good and quick. Flying Haste, Tyrant of Jund. Okay. I recognize you. So, pretty much all I can do is throw out this Sunstriker. And I suppose that's all I'm going to do, because I don't want to put this on a creature that would just die. Yeah, I have a feeling that Mr. Pro Magikarp over here with his Tyrant may end up being the victor here. Although, she does have enough flying damage over there to take him down. And I still have the life lead. Not that that makes a whole lot of difference when you have no cards on the field. Yeah, so you tapped yourself out there, buddy. You're going to eat 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 damage. That would kill him. And one more just to ensure that he can't block it. And that's going to end both Dracomancers back to back. That's why you don't tap yourself out with attacks. Now, it's one-on-one, and I have the life advantage. I do not, however, have card draw. That'd give me a card that she controls, but I would probably end up just getting the 1-1. No point in playing either of these as of right now. If I attack, my card dies. I can survive a couple of turns. 5, 10, 11. Yeah, I can survive a couple of turns. But things are going to get real bad real quick here if I don't start drawing some creatures. Coming at me with the 5-5. There's the 1-1, the other 5-5. Not sending the 2-3, that's smart, because I would attack it, it would kill my creature, but I would get 2 health back. So that's going to be 11 damage, bring me down to 20... Oh, I'm sorry. Bring me down to 16. And another land card, this is not helpful. 10, 11... Alright. 4. I need one more land for that to be useful. She can't kill me this turn, no cards in her hand. So I'm just going to have to wait again. And then on the next turn, if nothing really good comes out for me, I will use Pariah to keep myself from getting killed off. Oh! There's another flying. Which one is that? Flying, Vigilance, and Persist. Great. So that is 10, 13 damage. I'm just going to have to take it, unfortunately, in the hopes that something worthwhile comes out of this. And now we're down to 4 health, and she is up to 24. This has been well played on her part. Oh. Costs 5 mana, gives me 3 aura cards. Would leave me with 3 mana left to spend. Okay. So here's what we do. We Pariah him so that we can survive the next turn. Then we play this. And let's get some enchantments out here. So what I'm thinking... I can draw 1 pacifism, so I'm going to take that. I can draw 1 armored ascension, so I will take that as well. And then... I will also take an indestructible and just hope that I draw a card that will allow me to get these enchantments going. If nothing else, I can at least pacify one of hers before she attacks me. Now, I could attack right here, but that would leave me completely open since I do not have vigilance, and then I would get just horribly murdered immediately. So instead, we're just going to leave him on the battlefield, and we're going to hope for the best. Now, all that damage should go to my 2/2. I'm afraid if I block with him that it won't work. So I'm just going to skip my block. Oh! But it only takes the damage from 1 attack, apparently. Or it only takes the damage until that card is killed. So, At least now I know exactly how Pariah works, but that was a long 4-player match, and I'm just simply glad that I hung into it till the end there. So with that, I think we're going to end this episode of Multiplayer Mondays. As always, if you have a suggestion for a game that I should play on Multiplayer Mondays, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below this video. As always, I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching.